Have you ever had a night where your own body betrays you? You're wrapped in the quiet of midnight. The world is hushed. The only sound is the rhythm of your breathing, the steady comfort of sleep. You're safe, or so you think. And then, bam! Out of nowhere, it's as if a lightning strike tears through your leg. A jolt so sharp, so merciless, it rips you out of your dreams and into a private storm of pain. Your muscle tightens like a steel cable pulled too hard. Your calf bulges, rock hard, as though your body has turned against you. You sit up, eyes wide, clutching your leg, whispering through clenched teeth, "Not again. Please, not tonight." In that moment, nothing else exists. Just you, the dark, and a pain so raw it feels endless. And when, finally, mercifully, the muscle releases, its grip you're left shaking, not just from the pain itself, but from what it means. Because in the silence that follows, something even worse creeps in, the fear that it will happen again, the fear that it could strike tomorrow, or next week, or in the middle of a grocery store aisle with strangers watching. The fear that you are no longer safe in your own body. If that sounds familiar, you are far from alone. Millions of people, especially seniors, live with this quiet, invisible battle. Some call them Charlie horses or just cramps. But if you've lived through them, you know they're not small. They steal your peace. They rob you of your sleep. They make you dread the night, dread long walks, dread bending down to tie your shoes, as if your muscles are lying in wait, ready to ambush you. And yet, nobody really talks about them. Doctors may shrug, family may laugh. It off and deep down, a little voice inside you whispers, "Is this just my life now? Am I too old to fight back?" But here's the part nobody tells you. Your body isn't broken. It isn't failing you. It isn't cruel. Your body is speaking to you, in the only language it knows. And cramps are its way of crying out, "I'm missing something. Please give me what I need." Because pain is never random. It has roots. It has reasons. And sometimes, the solution isn't another pill bottle or another sleepless night of gritting your teeth. Sometimes, the solution is astonishingly simple. Because food isn't just calories. Food isn't just something to fill the belly. Food is instruction. Every bite you take is like sending your body a message. Relax, heal, grow, repair, or suffer. Food is medicine. Food is power. And with the right foods, the right superfoods, you can retrain your body to work with you instead of against you. You can teach your muscles to stay calm. You can stop the misfiring, stop the seizing, stop the betrayal. So today, I'm going to share with you 5 of the most powerful superfoods on Earth. Foods that can transform your muscles, protect your nerves, soothe the chaos inside, and put an end to those sleepless, painful nights. But this isn't just another list of eat this, not that. No. We're going deeper. We're going to uncover the hidden reasons cramps happen. We're going to shine a light on the quiet fears you carry, the toll this battle takes on your spirit as much as your body. And then we'll connect the dots, showing you the small daily choices that can quietly destroy you or quietly set you free. So if you've ever felt robbed of freedom by your own body, if you've ever thought, "I just want one peaceful night," stay with me. Because this may not just be another video you watch and forget. This might be the moment you take your life back. Section 1. Eggs. The muscle-building miracle. Let's begin with something so ordinary, so common, that it often hides in plain sight. The humble egg. Most of us see eggs as nothing more than a breakfast staple, scrambled on a plate, boiled in a salad, fried beside toast. But I want you to pause and look at it differently. Imagine holding one in your hand, smooth, fragile, unassuming. And yet inside that shell is a universe of strength, a blueprint for life itself. Now think about your own body, Imagine your muscles as a grand stone wall built brick by brick over decades. Every step you take, every time you kneel to tie your shoes, every lift of a grocery bag, those are little stress cracks forming in the wall. When we're young, the wall repairs itself easily, but as the years pass, the repair slows. Bricks crumble faster than they are replaced. That's when weakness creeps in. That's when cramps strike like a thief in the night, and here's where eggs come in. Each egg is like a basket of fresh bricks delivered right to your muscles, ready to patch, ready to strengthen, ready to restore what time and strain have worn away. Why? Because eggs carry something precious, complete protein. Not partial, not missing pieces, but all 9 essential amino acids. They're like the full alphabet your body needs to write the story of strength. Without those letters, the sentences of your muscle health remain unfinished, fragile. But with them, your body can compose resilience, repair, and recovery. I'll never forget Carol, a 72-year-old retired teacher from Arizona. She confided in me one afternoon, her eyes tired, her voice shaky. "I dread going to bed," she admitted. "The cramps. They're so violent. I wake up screaming. Sometimes I'm afraid to even fall asleep." Her doctor had told her, "Eat more protein." But in her mind, that meant expensive steaks or chalky protein shakes that upset her stomach. Then one day, almost in desperation, she started eating something simple: 2 eggs each morning, scrambled with spinach and tomatoes. Weeks later, she called me, her voice brighter, lighter. The cramps hadn't disappeared completely, but they had changed. They no longer ambushed her every night. They softened, became less frequent, less terrifying. She laughed softly and said, "Eggs gave me back my mornings. I feel safe to sleep again." And that's the miracle hiding in plain sight. Eggs don't just offer protein, they bring other silent guardians too. Inside the golden yolk lives vitamin D, the sunshine nutrient. Think of it as the oil that keeps the gears of your muscle engine running smoothly. Without it, the gears grind, scrape, and seize up. With it, they turn with ease. Eggs also carry vitamin B12, a nutrient many seniors quietly lack. B12 is like the electrical spark in a wire. It makes sure the nerve signals firing from your brain reach your muscles cleanly. Without it, signals misfire. Muscles spasm when they should relax. They cramp when they should rest. So if cramps are chaos, eggs are order. They are calm. They are balance. The next time you crack open an egg, I don't want you to see just breakfast. I want you to see medicine. Not the kind that comes in a bottle, but the kind that comes from nature. The kind your body recognizes and uses with grace. Picture this. Tomorrow morning, instead of grabbing a pastry or skipping breakfast, you scramble 2 eggs with a handful of spinach. You sit by the window, sunlight on your face, and as you eat, you're not just feeding hunger. You're sending a quiet message to your muscles. I see you. I'm giving you what you need. You are safe. That's the power of something so small, so ordinary. The humble egg, a capsule of healing, a builder of walls, a restorer of strength. Section 2. Bananas, nature's electrolyte. Elixir now. Let's peel open something sweeter, something bright, golden, and almost childlike in its simplicity. The banana. At first glance, it seems too ordinary to matter. Just a piece of fruit, tucked into lunchboxes, sold for pocket change at the grocery store. But inside this soft yellow package lies one of the greatest secrets for muscle health. A secret that could mean the difference between a peaceful night's sleep and another midnight ambush of cramps. I want you to imagine your muscles as violin strings. To play a smooth, beautiful note, the string has to be tuned just right. Too loose and it won't make a sound. Too tight and it's at risk of snapping. Your muscles work the same way. They need balance, precision, harmony. And the mineral that keeps them in tune, that stops them from tightening into painful knots, is potassium. And that's exactly what bananas deliver in abundance. Have you ever noticed how cramps strike more often after a hot summer day? When you've been out gardening or walking, sweat dripping down your back? Or perhaps after you've been on certain medications like diuretics for blood pressure? That's not a coincidence. That's your body leaking electrolytes, potassium, magnesium, sodium, the invisible conductors that keep your muscles playing in harmony. When they run low, your muscles panic. They seize, they spasm, they scream. A banana, humble as it looks, is like a gentle hand on those strings, retuning them, restoring balance, bringing back the music of movement. I remember visiting my grandfather in Georgia one summer. He was a strong man, stubborn, with soil permanently etched into the lines of his hands from decades of gardening. Even in the sweltering heat, he'd be outside, bent over his tomato plants, pulling weeds, tending to his roses. But every evening, as the sun sank, I'd see him sink into his recliner, his face twisting, his hands clutching his calves. We used to tease him lovingly, calling it garden legs. But deep down, I could see the fear in his eyes. It wasn't funny to him. It was exhausting. It was humiliating. Then one day, almost by accident, I noticed something. On mornings when he grabbed a banana from the counter before heading outside, those evening cramps either disappeared or softened so much he barely mentioned them. When he skipped it, the cramps always returned with vengeance. It wasn't magic. It was science. One medium banana carries around 420 milligrams of potassium, along with magnesium and vitamin B6. Together, they form a trio of calm, soothing nerves, relaxing muscles, preventing spasms. Like a cool breeze on a stifling day, they restore what the body has lost. And it's not just cramps. Potassium also helps balance blood pressure, supports heart health, and keeps fluid levels steady throughout your body. It's a mineral of peace, not just for muscles, but for your entire system. Think about that for a moment. A single banana, a food so simple you can eat it with one hand, has the power to quiet storms inside your body. So the next time you peel open a banana, I don't want you to see just fruit. I want you to see a reset button for your muscles. A soft, golden promise that your body can find balance again. Picture this. Tomorrow, in the middle of your day, instead of reaching for a sugary snack or a bag of chips, you peel a banana. You take that first bite, and with every chew, you're not just feeding hunger. You're whispering to your muscles, stay calm, stay steady, I've got you. And maybe later that night, when you slide under the covers, you notice something different. No storm waiting in your calves. No sudden bolt of pain to rip you awake. Just silence, just rest, just peace. That's the gift hidden in a banana. Ordinary? Yes. But sometimes the most ordinary things are the most extraordinary healers. Section 3. Nuts and seeds. Tiny titans of strength. If eggs are bricks for rebuilding your muscles, and bananas are the gentle hands that retune your strings, then nuts and seeds are something even more mysterious. They are tiny, yes. A handful can rattle in your palm. A single seed can look almost insignificant, as though it couldn't possibly matter. But inside these little packages is concentrated power, a force that can mean the difference between a body that locks up and betrays you, and a body that moves with ease and confidence. Think of them as nature's treasure chests, small on the outside, but when you crack them open, they spill out riches: magnesium, potassium, protein, omega-3s, healthy fats. They are warriors, disguised as snacks. Let me tell you why that matters. At its core, a muscle cramp is a failure to let go. A muscle contracts, tightens, and then forgets the command to relax. It stays locked, trapped in its own tension. And if there's one nutrient that teaches muscles how to relax, it's magnesium. Magnesium is the great exhale. Without it, your muscles are like fists clenched too tightly, refusing to release. With it, they breathe, they soften, they let go. And here's the heartbreaking truth. Most seniors today are quietly magnesium deficient, not because they're doing anything wrong, but because modern diets, medications, and soil depletion rob us of it. That's where nuts and seeds step in. Pumpkin seeds, almonds, walnuts, chia, sunflower seeds. Each handful is like slipping your body a secret note that says, "It's okay. You can relax now." I once met Joseph, a retired bus driver from Chicago. Decades of long shifts left him with poor circulation. He'd spend hours sitting, his legs stiff, his calves often tight as rocks by nightfall. When he finally retired, he thought the cramps would stop. But they didn't. In fact, they got worse. Some nights he'd wake up shouting. His wife jolted awake beside him, helpless. His daughter, a nutritionist, suggested something strange. "Dad, eat a small bowl of walnuts and pumpkin seeds before bed." He laughed at first. How could a snack fix what decades of pain hadn't? But he was desperate. So he tried. 2 weeks later, he called her, voice full of awe. "I slept through the night," he said. "For the first time in years, I woke up rested. No cramps, no screaming. It wasn't a miracle. It was magnesium. It was omega-3s reducing inflammation. It was potassium rebalancing his electrolytes. It was nature doing what nature does best, healing quietly, powerfully, without fanfare. And here's another truth. Nuts and seeds aren't just about muscles. They're about energy. They stabilize blood sugar. They protect your heart. They nourish your brain. They keep your body humming steadily instead of crashing and burning. Picture this. Instead of reaching for a cookie at 3 p.m., you reach for a small handful of almonds. You crunch down, the earthy flavor filling your mouth. What you don't feel, but what your body knows, is that you've just given it tools. Tools to rebuild, tools to relax, tools to calm the storm before it begins. So the next time you glance at a bowl of nuts or seeds, don't think of them as just snacks. See them for what they really are. Tiny titans of strength, guardians of your muscles, allies against pain. Because sometimes the smallest things carry the greatest weight. Section 4. Leafy greens, the forgotten armor. When was the last time you really looked at a leaf of spinach, kale, or collard greens? Not just glanced at it on your plate, but really looked at it. The deep green veins running through it like rivers. The sturdy surface that catches the light. The way it seems alive. Leafy greens aren't just vegetables. They are living symbols of strength, resilience, and quiet power. They are, in a very real sense, armor. The kind your body desperately needs, but most of us forget to put on. Let me explain. Your muscles don't just need protein or potassium. They need a shield, something that protects them from the tiny assaults of daily life. Inflammation, poor circulation, oxidative stress. Imagine your body as a battlefield. Every step you take, every stair you climb, every chore you do sends little sparks of wear and tear into your muscles. Most of the time, your body repairs them. But as we age, those sparks grow stronger and the repair crew grows weaker. That's when pain sneaks in. Now picture yourself strapping on armor before heading into battle. That's what leafy greens do. They are loaded with magnesium, calcium, potassium, and antioxidants, a protective wall that shields your muscles, bones, and nerves from damage. I'll never forget Martha, a 69-year-old grandmother from Vermont I once spoke with. She told me she'd given up hiking her favorite trails because the leg cramps became unbearable. She missed the smell of pine trees, the crunch of leaves under her boots, the joy of watching her grandkids scamper ahead of her on the path. One day, her doctor suggested something simple. Add a big, leafy salad to your daily meals. She laughed. A salad? That's your big solution? But she tried it. Spinach at lunch, kale in soups, collard greens sautéed with garlic at dinner. Slowly, something shifted. She told me, the cramps didn't just go away overnight. But week by week, I noticed my legs didn't feel like anchors anymore. I had energy. I felt lighter. And one bright autumn morning, she laced up her boots and returned to her trail. She cried halfway up, not from pain but from gratitude. Science backs her up. Leafy greens flood your system with magnesium, the mineral that tells your muscles to unclench, and calcium, which keeps muscle contractions balanced and smooth. They deliver potassium, just like bananas, helping prevent the electrical misfires that trigger cramps. And perhaps most powerfully, they're rich in antioxidants, compounds that reduce inflammation and improve circulation, ensuring your muscles are nourished with oxygen and nutrients. Think of your muscles as a river. If that river is clogged with debris, inflammation, poor blood flow, the muscles downstream suffocate. Leafy greens are like a cleansing rain, washing the river clean, letting the current flow strong and free again. And here's the beautiful part. Leafy greens are endlessly versatile. You don't have to force down plain spinach if you hate it. Blend kale into a fruit smoothie and watch the bitterness disappear. Toss arugula on top of pizza for a peppery twist. Add collard greens to a stew for a hearty, nourishing boost. Every bite is a piece of armor sliding into place, protecting you. So the next time you push aside the salad, ask yourself, why would I go into battle without my shield? Leafy greens aren't just food. They are your forgotten armor, waiting to protect you, strengthen you, and carry you back to the life you miss. Section 5. Salmon and fatty fish. The healing flame of the sea. When you think of the ocean, what comes to mind? Maybe it's waves crashing against rocks. Maybe it's calm blue water stretching to the horizon. But hidden beneath that surface, in the cold depths, swims one of the most powerful healers nature has ever created: salmon. At first glance, salmon and other fatty fish don't look like medicine. But that's exactly what they are. They're not just food for your stomach. They're fuel for your cells, fire for your tired muscles, and balm for your aching nerves. Let me paint a picture. Imagine your muscles as a fire. When you're young, that fire burns steady and clean. Every contraction and relaxation happens smoothly, like logs crackling in a balanced flame. But as we age, with stress, with inflammation, with poor circulation, that fire starts to smoke. It sputters. It flares up in painful bursts. It struggles to stay steady. That's where salmon steps in. Packed with omega-3 fatty acids, salmon is like a gentle hand, fanning away the smoke, calming the flame, and letting it burn evenly again. Omega-3s reduce inflammation, the silent thief behind so many cramps, spasms, and aches. They soothe swollen tissues, improve blood flow, and even protect the delicate linings of your nerves, making sure signals travel smoothly, without chaos or misfire. I remember John, a 75-year-old Vietnam veteran I once spoke with. His legs had carried him through jungles, through years of labor, through countless miles of walking. But by his 70s, they betrayed him. Night after night, his calves would seize in agony. His wife told me she'd often find him pacing the living room at 3 a.m., trying to walk out the pain, tears in his eyes. A nutritionist suggested he start eating salmon twice a week. Skeptical but desperate, he agreed. He grilled it with lemon, baked it with herbs, even tried canned salmon mixed with avocado. After about a month, the change stunned him. "It's like someone turned off the fire in my legs," he said. Pain didn't just ease. My whole body felt calmer, lighter. I started sleeping again. I got my nights back. Science explains why. Omega-3s aren't just anti-inflammatory. They literally change the way your cells talk to each other. They smooth the pathways of nerve communication. They keep blood vessels flexible, ensuring oxygen flows where it's needed most. And salmon doesn't stop there. It's rich in vitamin D, critical for muscle function and bone strength. And in high-quality protein, the kind that rebuilds and repairs every fiber you tear down during the day. Think of salmon as the healing flame. Of the sea, fire that doesn't burn but restores. A flame that warms your body from within, reminding your muscles how to move without fear, without pain, without resistance. And here's the best part. You don't need to eat it every day. Even 2 servings a week of salmon, mackerel, sardines, or trout can transform your muscles, your nerves, your energy. For those who don't eat fish, plant-based sources like flax seeds, chia seeds, and walnuts carry their own omega-3 magic, not as potent, but still powerful allies. Picture this: a plate of salmon, roasted with garlic and olive oil, steam rising as you take your first bite. You're not just eating dinner. You're feeding your fire. You're calming your storms. You're healing from the inside out. So the next time you see salmon in the store, don't just think of it as fish. Think of it as a prescription written by the ocean itself, a gift from the sea offering you peace in your muscles, calm in your nerves, and strength in your days. Because salmon isn't just food, it's hope. Closing, reclaiming your freedom. Let me ask you something. When you think back to the very first moment you felt your body betray you with a cramp, that bolt of pain shooting through your leg, that helplessness in the dark, do you remember the fear that followed? That whisper in the back of your mind. What if this keeps happening? What if I can't stop it? That fear, that quiet, unspoken grief. It can feel heavier than the pain itself, because it makes you question your freedom, your independence, your ability to live the life you love. But here's the truth I hope you carry from this video. Your body isn't broken. It's not giving up on you. It's speaking to you. And food, these superfoods we've shared, can be the language that heals. Think of it. When you crack open an egg, you're giving your muscles the building blocks to repair themselves. When you peel a banana, you're retuning the strings of your body, bringing harmony back to your movement. When you snack on nuts and seeds, you're handing your muscles the permission slip they need to finally relax. When you fill your plate with leafy greens, you're strapping on armor, protecting your body from the hidden battles of aging. And when you savor a serving of salmon, you're fanning the healing flame inside you, calming inflammation, restoring peace. One food, one choice, one small shift at a time. These are not just meals. They are messages. They are medicine. They are hope. And maybe tonight, when you slide under the covers, you'll notice something different. Maybe the storm in your calves won't come. Maybe your body will sigh with relief, finally letting you drift into deep, unbroken sleep. And when you wake tomorrow, it won't be with dread, but with gratitude. Because healing is possible, relief is possible, freedom is possible, and you are not alone on this journey. If this video touched you, if you saw yourself in these stories, or if you want to keep learning the simple, powerful ways to reclaim your health and your peace, then I invite you to join this community. Subscribe to Echoes of Elderly Wisdom, a place where stories, science, and soul come together to remind us that aging is not the end of vitality, but the beginning of living with deeper intention. So take a breath, take a bite, take a step. Your healing begins with something as small as what you put on your plate, and it grows into something as big as getting your life back. Because your story isn't over. In fact, the best chapters may be waiting just ahead.